Coming up on Mountain News this morning, supply drives continue for Hurricane Helene relief as survivors put the pieces back together. Plus, a race car driver spoke with us about the moment his car left the track and went into the stands.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Madison Carmouche. We are inching up to that 6 o'clock mark this Tuesday morning, and today is October 8th. Let's check in with meteorologist Megan Desmal for a look at your forecast this morning. We were talking about it, we have been this whole time, but it's a lot cooler today, and I mean, I'm already a little bit tired of it, and it's just day one.
Oh, I feel the same way. These temperatures need to warm up for me, but right now, we're not looking to be that lucky. Right now, current temperatures are in the 40s. I grabbed my jacket this morning, and so did Madison. You might need to as well. 43 for Hazard. Manchester, 46, and Jackson is getting up to the 50s, 52 over there, but we're not going to be warming up until the next couple hours. We have to get over the fog first. Most of the area is looking quite clear though, so you're in some luck if you hate fog. But if you're in Harlan, 1 mile visibility over there and 3/10 of a mile in Ashland. So if you're driving in or around these areas, you need to be prepared. But for the rest of us, we're looking to be quite clear this morning. But once that does dissipate, we got our high temperatures today reaching the upper 60s in some areas, the low 70s for today. Not bad for a Tuesday. And if we look at the next couple of hours, we'll see that the sunshine will be shining through all day long from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. You can enjoy seeing that sun today and those high temperatures. Madison?
All right, Megan, thank you. We begin this morning with a developing story out of northern Kentucky. A federal investigation is underway after a medical helicopter crashed in Owen County, leaving 3 dead. It happened off of Old Highway 22 near Owington, not far from the Amigos Mexican restaurant, where people say they heard a huge explosion. Air Evac Life Team officials say 3 crew members of a AEL Base 133 out of Grant County were killed. The FAA confirmed it was a Bell 206 helicopter that crashed. They were identified by the coroner as Gail Alleman, Bethany Aiken, and James Welsh. They were on their way to pick up a patient when it happened. We will keep you updated as we learn more on WYMT.com and the WYMT News app. This has happened before in eastern Kentucky. On June 6, 2013, Air Evac Life Team Flight 109 crashed near Paces Creek Elementary School in Clay County, killing the pilot, flight paramedic, and flight nurse. And it's been more than 25 years since a medical helicopter crashed in Breathitt County. A University of Kentucky Air Medical Services helicopter crashed into a hillside in June 1999. It was shortly after taking off from the Julian Carroll Airport to return to Lexington after the end of their shift. All 4 crew members were killed in that crash. Many of us have friends and loved ones in Florida. We talked to Joseph Burke this week, who is from Letcher County and moved to Central Florida.
The only thing that we're actually concerned about at this point where I'm at in Central Florida is shingle damage and debris hitting our windows. That's really the biggest concern, because that could really do some, and of course power outages is going to be an inevitable thing.
Burke tells us people who live along or close to the coast are at a higher risk of serious damage to their homes, largely because of flooding. As Hurricane Milton makes a beeline for Florida, members of the Jefferson County Special Operations Team are on their way to Georgia. They are hoping to get ahead of the storm to be ready to provide emergency response efforts. The team stocked up with plenty of supplies, including rescue boats, chainsaws, and medical kits. One of the members says the unit can operate on their own and be self-sufficient for up to 72 hours. A little more than 1 week has passed since Hurricane Helene made its way through several states and hit parts of Appalachia hard, with catastrophic and deadly flooding. With communities beginning the recovery process, Appalachian Regional Healthcare is lending a helping hand. WYMT's Austin Hicks tells us how.
Houses damaged, lives uprooted, and a community devastated. Hurricane Helene has taken much from the people of North Carolina, and the recovery process continues. Knowing what the folks impacted by the hurricane will face during the path to recovery, ARH has started a supply drive at all of their hospitals. COO of Hazard ARH, Chris Moeller, says they are working to help people not just in the region, but wherever they can help.
We're working with our politicians, that we're working with our state and local legislators. We're working with the first responders both here and there to make sure that they get anything that they need, that we're able to support them in their time of need.
After the July 2022 flood and being heavily involved in the recovery process, officials said they realized recovery comes in phases and at this stage in the process, certain items are needed.
So the first things that people were offering were things to clean out trailers, clean out homes, shovels, cleaning supplies, things to soak up water, all the things that we went through 2 years ago. So now we're be able to take that experience and help the people of North Carolina recover as quickly as possible.
Countless organizations helped Eastern Kentucky pick up the pieces after the 2022 flood, and CEO of Whitesburg ARH, Ellen Wright, says it is time to return the favor.
Organizations that took time and took up money and donated their time, supplies, finances to help our community recover. In doing so, I would just like to remind everybody how much we appreciate those resources and that it's time for us to pay it forward.
The supply drive will last until October 11th, and then supplies will be shipped to communities in North Carolina. In Hazard, Austin Hicks, WYMT Mountain News.
Moeller says people here in the mountains are always willing to give back to others, and this drive will show that. Administrators with Harlan Independent Schools are partnering with Evergreen Church to gather donations for victims affected by Helene. Those donations are being collected until October 11th, which is this Friday. Items can be dropped off at the Sunshine office in Sunshine Elementary, in the front of the office at Harlan Elementary, and the Harlan Middle break room. Folks can bring baby care items as well as cleaning supplies and other donations. A recovery hub has opened its doors in Letcher County for several years. Officials with Help End Addiction for Life or HEAL have been working to bridge the gap between addiction and recovery. The center offers resources such as Narcan, showers, and more. Scott Lockard with the Kentucky River District Health Department says the county is one step closer to becoming a recovery-ready community.
What we would like to see is we want to see a community that is accepting of individuals who are battling substance use disorder, that supports the community and supports individuals to get second chance employment, to get their records expunged, and to become, high functioning contributing members of society.
Get rolling. Lockard says they are working with the community partners within the county and region to let more people know about the hub. A Southern Kentucky race car driver is talking to us about a wreck Friday that sent his car into a section of grandstands. Several people were hurt, but everyone is going to be okay. The driver, Shane Irvin, was not injured in the crash. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more.
A horrific-looking crash at a Southern Kentucky racetrack.
You don't see stuff like this much.
Shane Irvin says he's been racing 24 years and he's never been in anything like this.
The momentum just started barrel rolling down the front stretch a few times.
Unknown to Irvin at the time, that momentum carried him into the stands.
I looked down, my roof was gone, but my roll bars was there, and all I see was wood. And I'm thinking, what is wood doing on the racetrack?
He was told they couldn't upright him because people were pinned under his car.
I heard kids screaming, I heard ladies screaming. I'm like, that's odd. There's nobody close enough to the racetrack to hear that. So
he says his first concern were the people in the stands and told rescue workers not to worry about him.
No, nothing I'd done or could control, but when you're in the driver's seat, you kind of feel a little bit of blame for it. But
at least 3 people were hurt, and police tell us they were non-life-threatening injuries.
They said, we can't turn you back over. You don't understand. You're in the pit grandstands. We think there's people underneath your car, and there's definitely people pinned with your car. And they said, we can't move you.
He says his car is likely totaled, but wants to race again. And he says this crash should not deter fans from attending. In Lincoln County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Ponderosa Speedway will be open for racing Friday, but the director says the section where the crash happened will be closed to spectators.
Look at the London Corbin Airport and you can see fog will not be an issue for today. We do have a little bit of fog in Harlan and Ashland, but for the rest of our area, we're seeing 10-mile or more visibility possible. Right now, though, temperatures are in the 40s with a low dew point, which is quite nice as well. We do have high humidity with that, but current temperatures are in that 40 range, 43 for Hazard, 46 for Manchester. And if we look at Jackson, 52. We'll be warming up, though, to the upper 60s in some areas, in the low 70s for today. Not bad temperatures for your Tuesday. But if you look at the next 12 hours, we're going to be warming up. And with this, we'll be seeing sunny skies throughout every single hour of the day. I'll have the ARH 7-day forecast in a couple of minutes. Madison.
All right, Megan, thank you. And thank you for joining us on Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. When we return, FEMA is having to fight misinformation about funding while the country prepares to be hit by another hurricane.